wondering what you're gonna serve for Thanksgiving in terms of a dinner roll. Just because you're keto doesn't mean that you have to do away with having a nice warm fluffy roll with some butter on it on the side of your turkey. There's tons of different keto bread, keto roll, keto muffin recipes out there. And rather than having you just like pick one and choose one based off of reviews or what looks good, I took it upon myself to test 6 of them out for you. And so these all had good reviews on the internet and claimed to be the best bread or the best roll. I put it to the test and I'm gonna rate them based off of appearance, texture, and taste. And also ease of making too, if it's a long process to make. So yeah, I'm rating all these for you. I'm doing all the hard work for you, and I'm gonna show you which is my number 1 pick for Thanksgiving. So we're gonna start with Keto Connect's recipe. This is actually their bread recipe. It's the one that they claim is their best bread out of all of the 3 recipes that they've tried. I actually put it in a muffin tin and just thought, hey, if they claim that it's that great, let's give it a whirl. Has to be good, right?
This recipe involves quite a few ingredients. It does want you to separate the eggs from the egg yolks. And then it also needs a couple of pieces of equipment, like a food processor and an electric mixer. This recipe does require that you whip up those egg whites separately, which I just find a pain in the butt because I hate dirtying up dishes. And then it's weird because then you just combine them with the rest of the ingredients in the food processor. The dough comes out nice and thick though, so super promising. You do have to fill these up towards the top if you want that nice big puff muffin top to happen. I think that tasting the batter ahead of time is a good indication if it's going to taste good or not. I liked this batter, it was good.
Appearance-wise, it looks eggy, which it's a lot of egg inside of here, so I don't really like that eggy appearance. It's like this unappetizing sheen to it. Looks like kind of just wrinkled and shiny. But after you take the muffin liner off and then looking inside, it's nice and fluffy looking, which is probably because of all the egg that's inside. But yeah, it looks nice and fluffy. And in terms of mouthfeel, like it's on the drier side to me. I kind of need a lot of butter to go with it or pour some gravy on it. In terms of taste, it's not that bad. It tastes a little eggy though. I feel like you would definitely have to pour gravy on this or add some butter just to give it more of a better taste. Definitely need something to go along with it. This isn't something I'm gonna reach on its own and eat it. I think I'm gonna give this like a 3 out of 5 in terms of taste. I don't think this is gonna end up on my Thanksgiving table this year, but might be good just to have around. Up next is the Soul Bread by Carolyn Ketchum, the food dreamer. So we're gonna try this one.
The soul bread recipe I felt like required the most ingredients. I mean, it does have a lot of spices too that are going in there for flavor, but once again, it requires like separate egg whites from a whole egg. And I do use whey protein in this one. This is one from Vital Proteins. It's grass-fed whey protein, and the carbohydrates are pretty good. It's very low in carbohydrates too. It's my favorite whey protein. And so on here, you mix up all the wet ingredients together and then add the protein powder in. You just gently fold that in just so that the batter remains its nice fluffy consistency. And once again, when it comes to scooping these into muffin tins, you want to scoop them pretty much to the top so they get that nice muffin top, that poofy top. And I tasted this batter too, and I loved it. It was actually one of my favorite batters that I tasted.
In terms of appearance, I feel like it looks a little eggy because it has that sheen, that glisten on the outside. It is cute. I kind of like the muffin. It'd be really pretty in a bowl with a towel and these placed inside. I feel like that'd be really pretty on a Thanksgiving table. So first appearance though, yeah, a little eggy from that glisten on the outside, but we'll see what it looks like inside. So inside it's nice and fluffy, but it does look like it has like an egg-like appearance though, in terms of texture, like it tastes creamy, which is probably because of a lot of the cream cheese inside. And it looks like there's a ton of air holes in here, so you know that's like it just tastes fluffy and very moist too. And then in terms of taste, it doesn't really have a egg-like taste like the Keto Connect's version of the muffin does. It's more creamy. I actually like it a little bit better. So I would give this like probably a 4 out of 5. Yeah, it's really good. I don't know if I want this on my Thanksgiving table though. I actually feel like this would be really good if you mix in some bell pepper and some sausage or ham, make it like a breakfast muffin. That'd be amazingly delicious with this. So moving on to the Parmesan knot. This one is by Carolyn Ketchum. She's one of my favorites. I love a lot of her recipes. This one, I just felt like it was a different idea that you could bring to the Thanksgiving table rather than just a traditional bread or traditional roll. I like that it's basically fathead dough, but it's her version of it. And then that it has that wonderful parsley, basil, butter brushed on top.
So after you roll it out into a snake, you tie it into a knot, which I found a little bit difficult. Like that looks like a turd. All of mine look like little turds. Oh well though, the dough tasted fabulous though. I could eat that on its own.
In terms of appearance, when you look closely at them, they look kind of grainy on the outside. That could have been because I overworked my dough, because I've made these before and they didn't really look like that, but they're not as appealing to me as some of these other options. And in terms of texture inside, they're dense, but that's because it's made out of cheese, so it's going to be a lot denser, and it doesn't have that crust on the outside. But luckily it doesn't have an eggy appearance either. So, and then in terms of taste, it really tastes like cheese. That's because it's basically a fathead dough. So I don't really know how these would pair with like turkey and gravy. Maybe this is a better option if you're having like a pasta dish, which I don't know why you would on Thanksgiving, but maybe for Christmas, if you're gonna do like a fettuccine or something, these would be a good option to eat with it. Yeah, they just taste cheesy to me. I still like them, I just really want a bowl of spaghetti with it. So maybe not the best option for Thanksgiving. I would, in terms of taste, give these a 3 though. They're actually really good, I like them. So up next is Hey Keto Mama's dinner roll.
For this recipe, it's basically just fathead dough, but with some flaxseed in it. So it's fairly easy to mix up and make.
The flaxseed really gave it like that earthy bread flavor. So I really like that dough. I'm like, at first taste, I was like, eh. But then after a while, I was like, I actually really like this flaxseed in here. So I can't wait to see the final result. This one actually turned out to be one of my favorites. I mean, if you look at the appearance, it looks like a dinner roll. This is something that I want to see on my Thanksgiving table. And then it's hard on the outside. It has that beautiful crust, that beautiful brown crust. And then on the inside, it's nice, and you can see air holes in it. It's a little bit on the denser side than a regular roll. It's not quite as fluffy, not like the soul bread was in terms of fluffy, air holey texture, if that's a thing. But it looks real consistent throughout. Some of it, I do see little strings in there from the mozzarella cheese, where maybe using a food processor to mix it would have been a little bit more ideal there. But in terms of texture inside your mouth, they're just kind of dense, they're chewy. I love the hard crust though. That's really what you're looking for in a nice dinner roll. And in terms of taste, I like these just because I feel like that flaxseed adds a real earthy flavor to it. It's almost like you're eating a whole wheat dinner roll. And they don't taste cheesy at all, despite the fact that it is a lot of mozzarella cheese. So I'm really pleased with these. It's a good contender to have on the Thanksgiving table this year. I would give this in terms of taste, like probably like a 5. I really like this. And Hey Keto Mama does claim these to be the best dinner roll. So, I mean, I think they're pretty darn good. I'm very happy with them. Yeah, so these might be on my Thanksgiving table this year. We'll see. Up next is the dinner roll by Low Carb Maven. And these look so similar to the ones by Hey Keto Mama. The main difference is that these, instead of having the flaxseed meal in them, they have whey isolate protein in them. But in terms of appearance, it looks the same. It's got that nice, hard, crusty texture on the outside, and the shape is similar to a dinner roll. And inside, if you break it open, it still has that kind of dense, little bit of air holes in it, but that crust on the outside just looks beautiful. And in terms of texture and mouthfeel, like it's more chewy, but again, that crust, I don't know, I'm just a crust person. I love a good crust on a bread. To me, it makes it all worth it, even though it's a little dense on the denser side. It's so good. She did mention that possibly using baking powder rather than the baking soda would help it rise a little bit more. So I might actually do that if I end up making these for Thanksgiving. So this dough is quite surprising. It's really similar to the last one. It's really weird. It tastes a little yeasty, which I like. It actually kind of reminds me of actual bread. In terms of taste, these, I really like these. So good. Again, like the ones by Hey Keto Mama, it's that crust on the outside that just totally wins it over for me. I feel like this is just like a white bread version of that one. And they're not cheesy tasting. I was shocked because I really thought that they would taste like mozzarella cheese, but yeah, not cheesy tasting at all. They taste like a white roll with a beautiful crust on them. Yeah, so honestly, this is like probably my favorite. It's gonna be a hard decision between the Low Carb Maven's dinner roll and Hey Keto Mama's dinner roll. Both of these are excellent, but I think this one 5 out of 5 in terms of taste. So good. And last we have the roll recipe from Diet Doctor. These are a low carb keto roll as well. And appearance wise, oh my gosh, looks just like a dinner roll. I actually made these a little bit bigger than the ones from the Low Carb Maven and Hey Keto Mama. But yeah, I love the appearance. It's got that, rustic looking crust on the outside, and it's harder, but it's not like rock hard. And these rose up a lot. I was actually kind of surprised. The baking time, it's a lot longer to bake. It's 50 minutes as opposed to some of these other ones for like 15 to 20 minutes. So the baking time is longer. It's an interesting recipe too, with calling for the apple cider vinegar and psyllium husk. Texture on the inside, it's nice and fluffy, lots of air holes. It's got that thick layer of crust that I love. And gosh, I'm actually super surprised at how these turned out. I thought this was going to be a dud, but wow. I'd say out of appearance and texture, this is like, it takes the cake on this. Like 5 out of 5 for both appearance and texture. I think these are the winner of all the 6 rolls in terms of that. Flavor-wise, I like it, but honestly, I still really like Low Carb Maven's roll. This is good too. It's weird. It has like a buttery flavor, even though there's no butter in this one. But it has like a buttery flavor to it. But I can taste the psyllium husk. So I don't really like the taste of psyllium husk. It kind of tastes weird, like earthy, dirty. It's still really good though. Yeah, I feel like this would be really good with some gravy poured on, some even more butter. Just would complement a Thanksgiving meal as well too. So yeah, it's really hard to decide. I mean, in terms of taste, I think this is like a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, it's really hard to I don't know which one I'm going to choose, either the low carb Maven or the Diet Doctor rolls. Both of them are really good. Maybe I'll serve them both. I don't know. So overall, I think the dinner rolls by Low Carb Maven are my favorite. These are going to be on my Thanksgiving table this year, and I hope they're going to be on yours too. And so I hope you guys found this video helpful too. I mean, to me, there's so many different bread recipes out there, so it's really hard to find the best one. And a lot of times I feel like it's a crapshoot. It's like, okay, this one has a lot of reviews, or this one looks really good, so let's try it. And then you make it and it's a total flop. So overall, I feel like these are all really good keto bread options. But this one by Low Carb Maven, oh my gosh, this is my favorite. It's a little bit of work going into it. I don't like how I have to use a food processor, or the dough is so sticky. But honestly, it's worth it. It's so worth it. So your first roll that you're going to try is this roll. This is the Keto Connect roll. Take a bite of that and tell me what you think. You don't have to eat the whole thing.
Ew. I don't like it.
Do you like it, Will?
I like it.
You like it? Okay.
Can I give the dog it?
The second roll is the soul bread.
A little bit better.
It's a little bit better? So you like the soul bread?
Yeah.
Okay. The next roll we're going to try is the Parmesan knot roll by Carolyn Ketchum.
Ew. Mom, is this pepper?
No,
Aww.
it's parsley. Try it. What do you think?
It.
You like it? Okay, the next roll we are trying is the dinner roll by Hey Keto Mama.
I would mostly like it if you put butter.
You want butter on it?
Yeah.
Do you like that one?
I didn't.
Okay, the next roll we're gonna try is the dinner roll by Low Carb Maven.
I don't like it. I like it.
Okay.
Man, you're like the one that doesn't like it, and I'm the one that likes it.
All right, the last roll we're gonna try is the roll by Diet Doctor.
Ew, that's like Dr. Pepper, my Diet Doctor. Diet Dr. Pepper. Is that even real? Yes, it's real. I like it. It's not. Oh no. Well, bye guys. Thanks for the video.
Do you like it, Matt?
I don't like it.
Okay, if you guys had to choose one roll that you would like to eat on Thanksgiving, what would it be?
I don't want to eat any.
You don't want to eat any? Well, which one would you like?
I would like this one with butter on it.
This one? This one is the one from Hey Keto Mama.
I don't like any of them. You have banana bread? I'll choose banana bread.
I hope you guys found this video helpful in your quest to finding the perfect keto Thanksgiving roll this year. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more keto Thanksgiving content.